Yo guys, what is up? We're here with another PrizePicks video on the channel. Kind of a quick one we have today. We have a few matchups that should be interesting. Of course, to begin with, France versus Italy, and then we also have Brazil versus Ecuador later on. Um, so yeah, should be a few exciting matchups for this international break. And obviously, we're gonna go ahead and look at initially for the first few ones. Of course, France. Mbappe, we see a lot of props here for them. And obviously, we're going to go ahead and see the 4.5 shots line. As you see, over the last two games, he's had 18 shots. But of course, this is with Real Madrid going up against Betis and Las Palmas. Not that he won't have this many shots, but I feel like this line is a little bit skewed up, 4.5. And I feel like I almost positively definitely want to take the under. But I feel like I don't know. Personally, I feel like I'm putting too much stock into Italy because I feel like Italy has very good players, have the potential to be very good, but I feel like they just keep crashing out, like in big tournaments. Ever since that last Euro that they won in 2021. But I don't know. I kind of just want to take the under on this one. Like I said, I feel like Italy can put a good matchup against France, especially France of the way they were playing in the Euro. They were made it far, but they weren't playing to their full potential. So I don't see France still yet, catching that rhythm. I feel like that's something that France still has to work on. But 4.5 shots, I do like the under. I feel like you have a good, um, you know, you got a good a cushion there for him to get to four shots. You still take when it's properly take the under, especially if maybe substitutes. Of course, clubs and everything they want to protect their players. So you kind of see this one right here for Mbappe on the under on 4.5 shots. Mike Maignan 2.5 saves is the line for him, and as you see, both these are loading. But okay, there we go. So for Maignan, 2.5 saves is a line, and of course, the last game against Spain it was 0 saves. Against Portugal, he had 4. But if we look at it, go ahead and look at it here against Italy. Like I said, I feel like maybe I'm putting too much stock into Italy. I don't know. Maybe I trust Italy a bit too much. But also, France hasn't been the best of teams. But again, I kind of like the under on 2.5 saves for Mike Maignan. I feel like Italy could be very defensive at times. It might be very defensive this game. They have the ability to do so, the players to do so. So I like the under on 2.5 saves for Mike Maignan. And then Ousmane Dembele is another one that we're gonna go ahead and see here, which is a tough one for me. Like obviously it's a kind of a lower line, and it is Ousmane Dembele, and it's a flat line, a flat 2.0, and you guys know I don't really like those. But if I am gonna take one, if I had to choose one for this one, I would take the over, because I don't see him just taking one shot. He's probably gonna take maybe 2 shots. But if you want to take the real gamble here, you want to take the over 2.0 shots for Ousmane Dembele on the day. And then William Saliba, 66.5 passes attempted. So this is one where you're going to go ahead and see, like I said, that I was talking about. I feel that Italy might have a bit more of a defensive approach, as usually they always do, especially against teams that match up well against. Italy kind of, takes more of a defensive approach in general until maybe they're losing, and then they start becoming more offensive, taking the ball, controlling the ball. So for this one, and then of course you see against Spain and Portugal, he had 49 and 45. But again, I do feel like we're going to see France maybe try a bit more to be a bit more dominant here, in my opinion. On paper, they do have a better team, talent-wise and player-wise, obviously, with someone like Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Tchouaméni, those guys who are in Real Madrid or PSG. Italy, like I said, I still love Italy. Like I said, I might be putting too much stock into Italy, but I kind of like the under still. If it was more of an official match where it was like an elimination match or something like that, I would take the over. But being that it is an international break game, I know these games are important. It's a Nations League tournament, but the players, I feel like this early in the season for teams like Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, you'd hate to see a player go down with an injury. So I feel like a lot of these players might be you know prone to getting subbed out sometime in the second half, whether they're winning or losing or tied. Um, I feel like a lot of this early in the season, the clubs don't want their players playing high amounts of minutes. So the reason for that being is obviously, like I said, injuries, and obviously that's the reason for me taking the under on Saliba 66.5 passes attempted. Now let's go ahead and look at the Italy one. Here we go. Bastoni 72.5 passes attempted. And I'm just kind of waiting for these to load a bit right here. Which they are, and as you see, there's not many for Italy for some reason. But 4.0 saves for Donnarumma. I kind of like the under on this one as well. It's a high line. Like I said, France might be the more offensive or kind of take control of the game. But I do like the under on him for 4.0 shots. And then Bastoni, 72.5 passes, like I said, very similarly. This game, I think France still takes the offensive approach, controlling the ball, and Italy becomes more defensive. So I like the under on this one on Bastoni, which I'm surprised for him to have such a high line, higher than Saliba. But yeah, I like the under on him for that. And now for Brazil, although I was gonna make this video a lot earlier, but there was just not many props that you see for Italy, and then for Brazil, they still haven't added many props, which sucks a bit, but let's go ahead and look at it. So Vinicius 2.5 shots is the line, and obviously I kind of do like the over on this one for the simple fact that Vinicius playing Real Madrid with Rodrigo, with Mbappe, with who else is there? Jude Bellingham. So there's a lot of sharing of shots, and of course Mbappe's taking a lot of shots. I think Vinicius is going to come to Brazil and kind of try to maybe not prove a point, but kind of prove himself a little bit more. Obviously, I feel like Mbappe and Vinicius are kind of battling out for the Ballon d'Or. So I think Vinicius is gonna make a statement in this game, take a lot of shots. So I do like the over on him on 2.5 shots on the day against Ecuador. And then another one that we're gonna go ahead and look at, obviously, the skip was Alisson Becker, goalie saves and goals allowed. I'm very tempted to take the over on this one. I know that Ecuador could be, they could be good on their best day. They do have people like Caicedo in midfield, and obviously playing against Brazil is not an easy task. But I kind of want to take the over on this one. I feel like it would be maybe like a game where it's like a 3-1, 2-1 Brazil. But I do think that Ecuador could get a goal, so I like the over on goals allowed for Alisson Becker on this one. And then last but not least, for Brazil, Bruno Guimaraes, 53.5 passes attempted. Obviously, you see right here the last international game for him was against Uruguay. He had 38 passes. And then, like I said, very similarly, I feel like a lot of these players are prone to not play full games. Like I said, clubs are going to want the national teams to rest. There is such thing as a minutes restriction for national teams and players as requested by clubs. So I do like the under on Bruno Guimaraes for 53.5 passes attempted if starting. Obviously, we don't know who's going to start, but I do like the under on passes attempted for him. And now, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and look at Ecuador. Right here. So Felix Torres, defender, 35.5 passes attempted, as you see. For his last games, obviously these are club stats, but I do like the under on this one. Like I said, Brazil, playing Brazil is no joke. I still think that Brazil is going to dominate the ball. Ecuador be a little defensive and kind of maybe play the counter. So I like the under on him for that. For that prop. And then Ener Valencia shots on target. I do like the over on this one. As you see, Ener Valencia is still a very good striker for Ecuador. He's been there forever, even playing, Mexican League and Europe, everywhere. Still very, from when we saw the Copa America, he's still been very, very good in front of goal, getting shots on target. So I do like the over to get one shot on target. I think it's a nice one. Obviously, I feel like Ecuador looks for him when they're on the offense. So I do like the over on 0.5 shots on target for him on the day. And then last but not least, if this goalie does start, Moses Ramirez 4.0 saves. I also like the under on this one. I think a lot of these lines are very high. I feel like considering the opponents, like obviously Ecuador playing Brazil or you know Italy playing France, you kind of understand why you would expect a high line so high for like goalie saves. You expect Brazil and France to take a lot of shots, but whether those are on target is another question, or whether those go in goal are another question. So you get a kind of a big leeway right here. So I kind of like the under on Moses Ramirez on the under on 4.0 goalie saves. And with that, I leave you guys this video. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna try to put another one tonight. Obviously, we have England versus Republic of Ireland, which is gonna be another good prop game. And we have a few more games throughout the weekend, which is nice. And obviously, obviously Brazil playing today. I think they're gonna be playing simultaneously with the Green Bay Packers and Philadelphia Eagles, which is gonna be interesting. So if you're gonna use soccer picks and football picks, it'll probably be a very exciting night. Watching both games at the same time is probably definitely what I'm gonna do. So, yeah, like I said. Like I said, yeah, if you guys make those props in NFL, football, all of them, and we'll see what happens, and we'll see how the props work out later.